What's up out there? We are back with the Absolution Inquisitor that is in Act 5. So I went through off camera here and I cleaned up all the Act 1 quests that I was missing. I don't think I had to go into Act 2. I did a couple of these in Act 3 and I don't remember if I have to do this one or not, but it's kind of taken a little bit long, so I wanted to go ahead and just start pushing forward with the campaign again. But I did level up again, and I did get a couple of more points to put in. I also took the time to replace my gloves, chest piece, helmet, shield, I think new amulet, and new ring, and belt. So I've got a little bit of gear. I also spent the time going through and getting my resistances all 75%, so we're all positive on that. So when we beat Katava, should be good or mostly good and not have a whole lot to correct. I've got a few things I want to try, like I got Divine Ire and stuff like that. I don't know if they're any good or not, and I don't know that I'll mess with them at this point, but this is how my whole process evolves. I basically go and try out different skill gems and see where they go and see if I like them, see if they're better than something I've used before or not. Sometimes I'll go fairly far with one particular skill. I'll try something else out and I'll like it a lot, and then I'll go switch over to it. So we may tinker with that one here in a little bit. I do plan on just pushing the campaign. So I was looking at this last night. There was something over here that I wanted to actually get over to, and I don't remember what it was. I don't think it was Unnatural Calm, but there was a lot of cool things that came over here. Oh, Deep Thoughts for mana regen. That looked pretty cool to go into. And let's see here. We'll just go start getting off in this direction. That also gets us over to Heart of Thunder and stuff like that. So there were some cool things that I was looking at over here. Maybe that was it. Cruel Preparation, probably. We could also get Arcane Sanctuary. That's going to pick up spell damage while holding a shield, stuff like that. I was also thinking about, I don't have anything shield related right now. I was also kind of considering to come in here too. Let's see. We do have, this skill says nothing. It doesn't care what I use, I don't think. Let me reread this. Does not call out a particular weapon. I wanted staves. So I do have this Pillar of the Cage God. One thing we could do is to try to use this thing. You get block attack. You also get increased area of effect, attack speed, which I don't think is going to matter with this. Never mind. I was thinking I already had that 6 linked. It does not have anything about spells. It's just got attack speed and stuff like that. It doesn't have... I don't think attack speed is going to apply because this is a spell. So that's probably not going to work out. Anyway, we're going to push on with the campaign. That's kind of a cool looking, almost look like a pumpkin. We are going to continue on here. So my damage should be up a little bit. Mana regen might be a little bit better. Maybe not. I tried to get a little bit of mana regen on the gear that I picked. So we're going to push forward and keep on rolling. And we have another point to put in, so we can come over here. Let's see, is there anything interesting off of this? Energy shield from equipped shield, chance to block. That's probably a cool node to go into, but I think I want to keep coming over. I think I want to come over to this. Probably pick up Unnatural Calm. There's a lot of shield stuff over here. Probably definitely going to be I'm going to guess it's going to be a good idea to stick with the shield stuff. There's Arcane Sanctuary right there. We've got Unnatural Calm for more energy shield. We've got Arcane Guarding. There's going to be a lot of interesting choices because there's some minion stuff over there too. All right, let's keep on rolling. All that stuff's dead. Drop a portal. Let's see. We have another point we can go into. Maximum energy shield. Well, that's all max energy shield. I think we'll go into that. And this fight. Is this the easy one? I can't remember if this is the one that... This is the one we have to go deal with innocents and all that. Yeah, I hate this fight. I hate having to wait through all this. Definitely not one of the better fights in the game. All the mobs that come out, you just got to deal with all this, and then you got to fight with him multiple times. Especially when you got to go through this part of it, so you got to wait through another phase of it. I like the later fight where it's just the one guy and that's all you do is fight him once and that's it. Then you gotta wait through this. It's just... I don't like these phased fights. They just kind of get annoying. You're just kind of ready to be done with it. And you gotta wait through all these other phases and... I don't mind the campaign overall. Like, I don't hate the campaign. I need to keep my mana up. Spending too much. I don't hate the campaign. I don't mind going through it. I do wish it was a little bit shorter. I wish there was ways of cutting through some of this stuff. Like this fight here, especially if I've already done it, just let me just be done with this. You know, all these different phases are just kind of pointless in my opinion. I get it that you're trying to go through it and it's kind of cool and cinematic the first time, but after you've played this a few times, it's like this is kind of just slowing it down. All these phased parts of the fights. It'd be cool if there was a way of just flat out skipping some of this. Like phasing it or something, or I don't know. And then we're done and we can finally get out of here. I would just like to see stuff like that go a little bit faster. I don't know if you have to talk to him or not. I don't really care for the torch courts either. I feel like I have to go back through the same thing I already did. Definitely not my favorite parts of the campaign. I feel like I have to go through this, what, 4 times or something like that? Like, you have to go through this multiple times. Because there's twice here, and then I think there's twice later on. At least once later on. I guess it's once later on. So really, it's 3 times going through this. And it's just kind of... It's going to get tired of going through these torch courts. I do hope on Path of Exile 2, I've kind of been checked out of PoE 2 content. I haven't really been following it, but I know they're planning on making the campaign a little bit more dynamic and a little bit less... A little bit more interesting, I guess I would be the words to say. It's supposed to be a little better. Not quite so 10 hours of running through the same thing over and over and over and over again. I know people can speedrun this. I am not a speedrunner. I definitely don't know all the little shortcuts and all the different ways. This guy's getting on my nerves. You can die now. You know what? I'm going to make it a special effort to just go wreck you. Just because. But I am hopeful that PoE 2 just makes the campaign a lot faster. Interesting might be good, but, you know, if it's 5 or 6 hours to blast through the campaign, that would be much better. Because this 10-hour campaign business sucks. Like, it was fine the first 5 or 10 times, but now I'm kind of just sick of dealing with it. I just want to be done with it, you know, and I'm 5 hours into the campaign now, or roughly 5 hours, somewhere in that realm. And I got another 5 hours to go. Like, it just... There are definitely better parts to the campaign, things that are a little bit more fun to do, things that are a little bit less fun. It is kind of cool to see a build, when you've got a build that's going a little good, fairly well, like I have going right now. I'm very pleased with the way this build is going, and it's kind of cool to see that. I don't need to go back to town. I think we need to run through here. It's definitely kind of cool to see this go, but at the same time, it's like, man, I got 5 more hours of campaign to go through. So, is what it is, I guess. What level are we getting up to? Okay, and we have another skill point, so I think I'm going to take the shortest path over here, and that'll save us an extra point. These are all 6% increased maximum energy shield. I may pick this whole thing up at some point, not sure. We're just going to take that for now, and I can drop some stuff off here. You know what? I'm just going to get rid of this garbage here. Just sell it and be done with it, and then I don't have to stare at it anymore, and we can go keep running. I do this quest. I don't think this quest is required, but I go ahead and do this one. It's just right on the way. I never realized that that's the guy you buy stuff off of originally, and then they switch to somebody else after a while. I finally caught that, I don't know, one of the last runs that I did here not long ago. I barely pay attention to the story, but I didn't realize that that guy was, you know, somebody that you actually talk to at some other point. Okay, we do have another point, so we can get more increased max energy shield. Again, I don't remember if this is a required quest or not, but since I'm here, I go ahead and knock these out. It's not that, doesn't take that long to just go ahead and take care of. I get an extra level out of this too, or probably should get an extra level, so I don't really think it's a bad thing to run through these. And it's pretty easy to find this stuff. You basically just run back to up top here, and then you run to the right as far as you can go, and then you run to the left as far as you can go. It's pretty simple to get. And that does get us a skill point. We get a shield. Maybe we'll try and see what that thing turns into. Okay, so we get another skill point. Let's see. Is there anything cool on here? I don't care about light radius. Energy shield regen might be kind of cool. 2% of energy shield per second. I'm going to try to keep that one in mind. I think I want to go ahead and continue on coming this way, and we're going to go start picking up these lightning ones to pick up some damage. We'll identify this thing here, and for what it's worth, we're going to quality that up. We're going to... it's already got max. Spell damage, cold damage... adds fire damage, attack speed. I don't think that's going to be very good, so we'll just get rid of it. However, I do see that these gloves are capable of being equipped now, so let's go ahead and get that set up. Socket that thing. This doesn't really add a whole lot. Some int, some strength, fire damage. You know what? I don't even feel like messing with it. Let's just go do this. Get Katava down. Be curious to see how this Katava fight goes. Build feels pretty good. Not dying too much. Alright, so at this point I will go... you know what? I don't even care. We're close to leveling up, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this fight. I would... typically go out, but that's a few bars too many, so I'm not going to mess with it. Just try to get him killed off. The damage feels good, though. I hate these things that come out. I can never see where they're at. Get out of that mess. Give him the old gas there. A little bit more mana regen, and this build would be going fairly well. I would not have complaints, let's just say that. Because I am definitely running into some mana regen, mana sustain problems whenever I give it the gas. Onesie-twosie shots aren't bad, but... This should be the last one. Go ahead and blast this away here. Need to be able to just hold that button. That is a definite deficiency we need to take care of. Oh, he's still not done yet. All right. That should do it. I still don't quite understand how you can die here, but like he goes down and then basically kills you. You'd think that, I don't know if you just get knocked out or if he like kills you here. I've never quite figured that out. There's probably a big thing to the lore or something, but I'm not sure. I just always find it funny that you can die here, but he kills you anyway. Or whatever, however the story rolls. Anyway, that is up through Act 5. And I actually did that one in about a half an hour. That's pretty cool. So, that is going to do it for this episode. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.